So I'm Michael Strong. This is Startup Learning. We are a group of people who care about personalizing education. We believe that the best education is highly personalized. Unschool, homeschool, alternative school, Montessori, Waldorf, Sudbury Valley, agile learning, all sorts of things. So we're going to be working with Chandler Garrett, who attends the Cabelli Strong Incubator, a school I co-created, an entrepreneurial incubator and school I co-created. And Chandler has been homeschooled most of his life prior to this. And Ryan Nohia Garcia, who is a father who is educating his young daughter in a unique, personalized path. And without further ado, I'll turn it over to Ryan, and you can talk a little bit about you and your goals for Alana, and then we'll shift to Chandler and have him introduce himself. Go ahead, Ryan.
Thanks, Michael. I'm Ryan. I'm in San Diego. I'm originally from Hawaii. My daughter just turned 3 last month, so I won't call it the pressure, but reality is that there's no pause button, and every day she's learning and growing one way or the other. So it's important for us to kind of direct her towards resources and ideas and subjects and hopefully viewpoints that we want her to adopt and we want her to really grow with. I met Michael a couple of years ago and worked with him a little bit on Startup Learning, just on the writing end and helping to build the website. And that's really how I learned a lot about personalized education. I didn't know a whole lot beforehand. As a child growing up, I thought school was mom and dad in the kitchen, basically teaching the same thing that was happening at school, and that terrified me. I went to a smattering of small, weird Christian private schools, and then I went to an outstanding high school, and then I went to college and law school. The best education I ever got was in high school at a private school in the Big Island, which was quite good. And the reality in my life has been that almost everything that I use on a daily basis, I learned on my own through self-education. So I always value that. And passing on a love of learning to my daughter, passing on a love and a zest for self-education is of paramount importance to us. We are interested in doing personalized education because it appears that here in San Diego, although in downtown San Diego the public schools are halfway decent, it's Montessori or bust. And we think that we can do something a little bit more creative than Montessori, something that's closer to us here in downtown, something that takes advantage of the region near us, especially in Balboa Park, which is the second largest urban park in the country, has a dozen or so museums, art galleries, art shops, 26 miles of hiking trails, botanical gardens, theater resources, music resources, you name it. There's a lot going on at the park, and so we want to craft a personalized education program for her there. To date, we've spent, basically since she was born, we've spent a lot of time at the park, walking through it, getting to know it, learning about the different resources that are there. Now that she's 3 and she's able to really kind of take advantage of them, we've joined several of the different museums. For instance, the Fleet Science Center, which is a children's-oriented resource. It's very good, and it doesn't cost very much money. And I'm looking forward to working through this with Michael to understand how we can best create this education program for my daughter and possibly other children as well, finding through the resources that are here in San Diego. I think that'll be a great launch pad for her to either go to school at a later date, should a Montessori or should some other school become a viable option that we're interested in. It pains me, but my daughter loves school, and she's fascinated by school, and she can't wait to go carrying a backpack. I don't know if she gets it from television or what. I spent my whole life trying to get out of school, but she loves it. So that's an option down the road, but between now and 5 or 6 years at minimum, we want to develop a world-class personalized education program for her based upon Michael Strong's teachings.
Well, thank you, Ryan. Before going to Chandler, a couple of things. First, I think it's helpful for parents who are considering doing this, understanding your context. And my understanding is that your wife has a full-time job, and you are largely a stay-at-home dad who does various consulting projects so that you're able to be the primary caregiver and educator for your daughter. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's mostly correct. My wife is a nurse, so she works 3 days a week. The advantage there is that she has more time than most people working full-time to spend with Alana. She tends to work weekends, so she's available during the week, and that's who actually watches Alana 2 or 3 days a week. my schedule is highly variable. I do work from home. I used to practice law. Now I own a couple different companies. One sells ammunition, so that keeps me very busy. But we definitely make time in our days to spend time with Alana. Making sure that she has a lot of personal interaction is highly important to us. So 5 days a week, there's going to be someone, my wife or myself, available for Alana. And if not her, we have a babysitter that we trust deeply, who we use 1 to 2 times a week. That's where Alana learned Spanish.
Great. And can we have a glimpse of the star of the show before we go on to Chandler?
Yeah, sure. Although she's just finishing her breakfast here. Alana, can you please come? Please. Por favor. Little Miss 100th percentile herself.
Hello, Alana. How are you?
Hi.
Say hi, Michael.
Hi, Michael.
Yeah, she's the best.
Incredibly cute, incredibly cute.
100th percentile, indeed.
Nice to meet you, Alana.
You want to tell Mr. Strong about the Science Center? Something. Do you like going to the Science Center?
Yeah,
What do you do there?
watching show.
Watching shows. That's right. We go to the science classes. What did you learn about?
We could make it.
Yeah, lot to learn.
Okay, thank you, Alana. Thank you, Alana. Okay, Chandler, tell us a little bit about your background and relationship with personalized learning.
Okay. Well, I'm 17. As you said before, I'm attending your entrepreneurial incubator now, and I'm in my second year of doing that. Um, Earlier on in my life, I attended a Waldorf-based home preschool, and for second and third grade, I attended a Montessori school. But for most of my life, I've been unschooled, and I think that's worked for me because I'm definitely a huge proponent for personalized learning. I don't think there's one specific way that people should learn, and especially as someone with many interests, I wouldn't enjoy being confined to one path.
So tell us, did you just stare at the walls all day when you were unschooled?
No, it's. I think I've kind of varied. I've been homeschooled and unschooled off and on, and homeschool is a little bit more structured. And I've felt that unschooling is more finding learning wherever you go in your daily path. And I definitely like that because I feel like I can take initiative, and I feel like you can't learn as well if you're confined to one thing.
Mm-hmm. So what did you like best about your education?
I'd say my freedom to learn. Let's see. I think that I've been able to take in a lot more information because I haven't been confined to one set of resources, and I've just kind of had the whole world to explore.
Mm-hmm. And what's the worst part about your education, if any?
I think the worst part, I don't know if it's the worst part, but I think you have to be very self-driven in order for it to work.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it kind of fails.
Great. Well, we'll dig a lot more deeply into you and your background later, as well as the Ryan and Alana experience. I'm just going to give a little bit of my background, and then we'll wrap it up for today, and then we'll start exploring deep personalized learning. So both Ryan and Chandler have heard variants of this, but I describe myself as somebody who loves learning and hates school. Secondary school were the years of secondary school were the most boring and cruel years of my life. Unbelievably boring. I've never been bored as an adult. Why did I have to go through 6, 7 years of absolute boredom? And cruel. Often people were mean, kids were mean. As an adult, if people are not nice, I don't hang out with them. I never have to hang around with cruel people. Why do we put so many kids in a circumstance where they're bored and submitted to cruelty? I don't understand it. So most of my life I've spent creating schools. First I went to Harvard. I was bored. I didn't like famous people talking at me. Then I went to St. John's College, where all classes are taught Socratically. I love intellectual dialogue, and so all of the schools have had a strong theme of intellectual dialogue. I started out in public schools in Chicago and then in Alaska, leading Socratic seminars in often inner city, but also rural schools. Then inner city in Chicago, both inner city and rural in Alaska. I then created Montessori. I Socratized, that is, I created intellectual dialogue in a pre-K through 8 Montessori school in San Antonio. It was called the Judson Montessori School at the time, now the San Antonio School of Montessori, and the Montessori School of San Antonio. Not quite enough coffee yet this morning. There, I worked with 3-year-olds doing Socratic dialogue, so we'll start, inquiring with Alana very soon. After that, I created the Winston Academy, a school for highly gifted children in South Florida, where we had 6th, 7th, and 8th grade students taking advanced placement courses. It was the most academically advanced school in the U.S. while it was open. I then created Montessori middle schools for the Early Learning Group, a multi-campus Montessori organization in San Francisco, or Palo Alto and Pleasanton campuses. Then I created a charter high school based on Socratic Paideia principles in Angel Fire in New Mexico, which was ranked the 36th best public high school in its 3rd year in operation. After that, I met John Mackey, CEO of Whole Foods. We created Flow, an organization that promotes entrepreneurial solutions to world problems. I've been doing that for more than 10 years now, during which time I've helped various other people start schools, and I've served on the board of a school, which I'll talk about in a minute. And most recently, a couple of years ago, I reunited with Kozo Cabelli, who had founded the Cabelli School in Austin, where I'd served on the board from 2004 to 2008. And Kozo and I, in fall of 2014, created the Cabelli Strong Incubator, an entrepreneurial incubator for teens that also provides college prep program. Chandler attends our school/incubator. This is our 2nd year. We started with 33 students last year. We have, I believe, 44 now, and we expect to be at 50, 55 by the end of the year. Anything either of you want to say for today before we wrap up this introduction?
Chandler, do you have anything?
I think I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. Mike, what I would add is just that we are looking forward to doing this. The prospect of giving our daughter a world-class education at any price, much less, $0 to $3,000 or $5,000, is we think highly important. There's nothing more important than learning than reading. We want to make sure she's in a great social environment. We don't think that schools have to have principals, flagpoles, and bullies. In fact, we don't want that at all. We're fascinated to learn more about this style of learning, about homeschooling, about unschooling. Chandler, you can definitely help us there, because when I was a kid, unschooling would have been way out there, and now I think it's normal. So we're excited about that. And Michael, we're just looking forward to working through this process and learning from you.
Great. Well, thank you. I do think it's interesting. We've got 3 males who will all be helping this incredibly charming young woman develop. So please come back. We look forward to talking with you, and in the future we'll have opportunities for audiences to ask us questions while we're discussing personalized education, homeschooling, unschooling, and alternative schooling options for children of all ages. Thank you. I'm Michael Strong with StartupLearning.me. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.